All right, so in the previous interview, we heard what the older generation is doing wrong for the youth of today. The nice thing is we actually have one sitting with us in studio this morning. June is Youth Month, and we're going to continue to focus on the future generation of our country. And as a young person who had just begun their career, it's easy to fall into the debt trap or get educated about how money can work for you. So joining us here in studio, we've got Kagiso Tloubatla. He is, of course, an investor and works in his private capacity. It's wonderful to have you here on the program with us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start off with this conversation that we had previously, because I know that we're going to talk about investment and advice for the youth, but
yes,
just this conversation to kind of wrap it up, where we were saying that the older generation, that the current working generation, have their own way of doing things, but the youth are coming in fast and furiously, and it's a completely different way of doing business. How are you finding? Is there this working relationship where you're finding that there's this big loggerheads happening between the guys that are coming in and the guys that are there trying to hang on to their positions and hang on to their ideas?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a problem. I think there's a big difference between the millennials or the youth of today compared to the older generation. I think gamification is a very big thing for us, and we want rewards right now. I don't think we want to wait 10 years or 15 years to get rewarded. We want things done right now. So we want to work and get rewarded immediately. So I think the old school mindset is very different to our mindset. So there's a big clash when it comes to that aspect.
It's amazing. Which, of course, leads us to the whole story of this instant gratification that the youth of today are absolutely loving. And that entails, I suppose, spending a lot more money than they perhaps don't even have. So that you're somebody who does give out this advice and talks about investors and how to look after your money. But you didn't always want to be an investor.
No, not at all.
Give me just a quick background.
So I actually used to play rugby. I was big into rugby through high school. Got to varsity, also played a little bit of rugby. Fortunately, I had to stop because I got quite a big injury. But I studied a BCom finance. One of my modules was actually investment management. So I struggled to understand the concepts theoretically. So I decided to open investment demo account on a platform. Tried it out, and just to apply the knowledge I was learning in class to actually physically apply it. It actually worked out for me. I was obviously using demo money, and then I decided to put in my real money, and I've never looked back since.
That's fantastic.
It's been great.
So you obviously give out an investment advice now, and I mean, what kind of knowledge do you need to invest in the JSE, and also the different products that are offered, and to try and help the youth for today?
I think the knowledge, my personal opinion is everyone actually has investment knowledge. So if you're a consumer, if you buy products, you have investment knowledge. The internet is a great thing. You're able to learn whatever you need to learn on the internet in regards to what different products offer. And I think really the youth should utilize it to teach themselves different aspects of investment, such as how different shares react to different types of news. But there isn't really one specific method to use. Everything is very, very different.
I love your theory, because I mean, it is, people look at business and business news and investment information, and it looks very complicated, but you take it down to the simple way of looking at it, and you take a little jar of peanut butter and you use that as an example, and you look at the company that makes this peanut butter. What else do they do? How they make it? I mean, is it a good investment? Isn't it? I mean, is that sort of how you go about explaining? And
definitely. I mean, for example, I've consumed peanut butter since I could eat solids. I understand peanut butter, and I'm sure a lot of South Africans understand peanut butter. I know that my kids will probably consume peanut butter. So I'll have a look at the company that potentially owns my favorite brand of peanut butter and have a look at what else they own, and I would buy their shares, because then I understand what would happen. If, for example, bread had to run out around the world, I would understand that peanut butter would not be consumed, because peanut butter and bread go hand in hand. So that is really how simple it is. I think what happens a lot is people try to complicate it. But it's really that simple. You just need to understand the product that you're investing in.
I just want to wrap up this interview, and it's a big issue for a lot of the youth of South Africa, and a lot of South Africans as well. Every month go through this phenomenon called black tax.
Yes.
Okay. And are unable to save because of this. But give a little bit of advice, because I know that's something that you do very, very well in terms of talking to the youth and this black tax phenomena that hangs over heads.
Yeah, I think with black tax, in 2016, where we are at the moment, we have investment platforms that actually allow you to invest as little as R1. Saving, you have to save within your means. You can't obviously save out of your means. So you can go into investment platforms that allow you to invest R1, R5, R30, so whatever you have. So, but you definitely have to save. Even though we do all go through black tax as South Africans, you definitely do have to save for your future. If you don't save, you will come into serious problems. And we're obviously trying to, as a youth, we should try and move away from relying a lot on the government. As we've seen, the government's also under a lot of strain in regards to funding different projects and funding the youth. So definitely saving, even saving a little bit is better than saving nothing.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. We'll leave it on that bit of advice. Thank you so much, Kagiso. Thanks so much for talking to us here on the program. Kagiso Tloubatla, he is a young investor with, he works, of course, for one of South Africa's big banks, but I think his real message is out to the youth of today and how to invest their money. All right, 5 minutes before 7. Let's quickly get